2022 भारतीय जनता पार्टी पहले की तुलना में ही भारी बहुमत के साथ फिर से सरकार बनाएगी और निसंकोच बनाएगी, इसमें कोई संदेह किसी को नहीं होना चाहिए। हम लोग मोदी जी के नाम पर और केंद्र और प्रदेश सरकार के काम के आधार पर जनता के बीच में जाएंगे।
There are several state elections which take place, but we never ask this question. I am Pallavi Ghosh, and my one take asked this question this week is that if Uttar Pradesh elections the BJP wins, will it actually increase the stature of Yogi Adityanath as far as the national level is concerned? Why am I asking this question? And I'm getting some very, very interesting reactions on my social media timeline, which of course, as always, is deeply divided. I'm asking this question because Uttar Pradesh happens to be politically a huge state, politically the most significant state, I would say. And as they say, and it's an old cliche, that, the road to Delhi is actually through Uttar Pradesh. In that sense, who becomes the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, but naturally becomes an important player, especially since you happen to be from the BJP and the BJP is in power at the center. Now, if anyone thinks it's going to be a hunky-dory or an easy fight in Uttar Pradesh, I personally don't think so, getting in from the ground reactions. And the reasons are very small but quick to follow up on. First of all, the Panchayat election results. It was a huge surprise, but it also came as a huge shock to the BJP that even in traditional BJP stronghold areas, the Samajwadi Party had made massive inroads. And Akhilesh Yadav did not have to do much. It's not that he was out on the streets campaigning and working out, or you could see those red topis of the Samajwadi cadre out on the streets. It was more an anger against the Yogi government over what is called the COVID mismanagement, which helped Akhilesh Yadav. It was not so much a vote for Akhilesh Yadav. But results are results, and this is politics. That is being used by the Samajwadi Party to buoy its chances and also to make the point that yes, we can do it. And I don't need anybody else in that, which is why, as in an earlier episode, we talked about the fact that whether Akhilesh Yadav can actually be ignored as far as UP elections are concerned. No, it definitely cannot be. It's no longer going to be just a one-party kind of an election. Here, the Samajwadi Party is going to be a big, big player. And the BSP, of course, not much. Congress, definitely not. But the fact that some BSP rebels are switching over to a Samajwadi Party becomes a very interesting game plan. This is one problem. Second thing is, we are seeing a huge, whatever may be dismissed of, somewhat of an infighting within the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. The fact that the Chief Minister came down to Delhi, he met the Home Minister, he met the Prime Minister, and everything seemed well after that. BJP sources pointed out very clearly that there is nothing wrong. They have complete faith in the leadership of Yogi Adityanath. And the fact is that the Chief Minister certainly and his government have gone very, very aggressive on COVID management. So whether it comes to free vaccination or a universal vaccination program in Uttar Pradesh, reaching out to the young children or to the mothers, families, looking after the farmers, you're suddenly seeing a huge kind of a campaign by the Yogi government and by the Chief Minister himself to make the point that yes, we have it in us, we feel for the people. And I think the winds of change are very much now taking place, which I think the BJP leadership at the center is also trying to convey that please don't dismiss off Yogi Adityanath. It's not correct to say that the BJP leadership at the center is upset with him or not supporting him. The fact that a close aide of the Prime Minister has made the Vice President of UP, too much should not be seen into it. But I think the picture in that is very clear that the central leadership of the BJP is certainly watching that space. It's no longer a battle which can be taken for granted. That is something which all of us can possibly agree on. The UP election is up for grabs. As of now, the feeling is that the BJP certainly has an edge because there is a Modi factor, his charisma. Yogi Adityanath, of course, has his factor as well. In Uttar Pradesh, it's a deeply divided caste system. That's one factor. Second, the Ram Mandir issue. Him in a saffron garb, Yogi Adityanath, his image as a yogi, all of that actually works on the ground. But that is also not tempered by a little bit of anger in many of the villages over what people suffered as far as the COVID times are concerned. Lack of hospital or medical infrastructure, those things could play on the minds of the people. Then, but time is a big healer. And I think Yogi is trying to undo that damage by now trying to prepare for a third wave. And one of the vaccination figures, if you go by statistics, is certainly highest when it comes in from a huge state like Uttar Pradesh, which he definitely is going to use to his advantage. So this is why it becomes very important to watch the space as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. Now I'm coming back to the question which I raised. What happens if Yogi Adityanath wins in BJP? Will it increase his stature? Definitely. It does. For any political leader, if you win a tough election, you do increase in stature. Quick example is that of West Bengal as well. Till then, Mamata Banerjee was largely being seen, despite her attempts, as someone who was largely ahead of a regional party, the Trinamool Congress, and her efforts to cobble up a national front were not being very successful. But now she is being seen as a giant killer, a giant fighter. Her role of a national leader is certainly coming up, and that becomes an important factor, which is why I'm saying that when you win a tough election, it becomes very important, because then you are seen as a tough leader, and that may help Yogi Adityanath. The fact that he is going to be fighting anti-incumbency, fact that you're going to be fighting on an Akhilesh Yadav who definitely over the next few weeks and the run-up to the elections is going to get more and more aggressive, the fact that you are countering or doing a damage control of the little bit of anger or substantial anger as far as COVID mismanagement is concerned, and if you still emerge as a winner, the credit of that win will also go to Yogi Adityanath to a very, very great extent. Of course, credit will be given to the Prime Minister because he comes from that state, he's a member of Parliament from that state, and he's certainly going to be the star campaigner. But Yogi Adityanath has also been a star campaigner, whether it was elections in other states, down south, Kerala, whether it was in Tamil Nadu, whether it was in West Bengal. Yogi Adityanath, of course, was listed as a star campaigner. There were several pockets which were chosen where he would go to, he would campaign. And I remember when I was in Bengal for over 2 months, at one such rally, Shubhendu Adhikari told the crowd that I am here, Prime Minister will also come here, I'm also going to get Yogi Adityanath here, and you know what's going to happen. Why did he say that? Because he knew that Yogi Adityanath has that very strong vote bank he has, and that is a vote bank he tried to cater to, and which helped him to a very great extent as far as Nandigram is concerned. So that was a very, very important factor as far as Yogi Adityanath is concerned. I'm seeing all the social media timelines, the reactions which are coming in, and yes, they are very interesting mixed reactions. Some of them do agree that yes, he's going to come to play a very important role. Some go to the extent of saying that he could be a contender to Narendra Modi in 2024. I think that is still a little bit too far-fetched. He's always going to be much, much junior. He can never ever take the place of the Prime Minister immediately. That would be a little unfair and far-fetched to say so. But yes, certainly his stature will increase. The BJP and the RSS will come to accept the supremacy, so to say, of Yogi Adityanath and how he's going to play a very important role. So what happens in Uttar Pradesh now will play a very key role in 2024 and the inner dynamics within the BJP. Do give in your reactions on the social media platform. We are going to be back with more episodes sometime next week. But what's the space on Uttar Pradesh? That's going to be a mother of all elections, and certainly almost as interesting, as fierce as the battle for Bengal was. Thank you so much for watching.